Partnerships ICOs Roadshow. And I have our buddy Keith Herman here from the pmbc group. They help raise capital, strategic partnerships, and have recently got into the blockchain. Keith, how the heck are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Well, so my buddy Rob brought you over here, and we saw you in there and introduced yourself that you were here to help raise capital for other companies. So how'd that happen?
So actually, we don't raise money specifically. What we do is we work with companies in their fundraising efforts and to help them develop strategic partnerships, and also in cases where they're looking to acquire subscribers or clients, whatever the case may be. Okay. So we do that through a model that we developed about 8 years ago, and the way that we do that is through broad-based media exposure. And so since the inception, we've had over 200 clients. We've been involved in all sectors of technology. We only work with technology clients, nobody else.
Only technology. So you probably have a lot of business up in Silicon Valley, then.
Actually, worldwide.
Worldwide?
Yeah. So we have clients worldwide, and like I said, we've been doing this for quite some time. We got into the blockchain space. We currently have clients such as Dash Wallet, UC Berkeley Blockchain, and other affiliate companies.
Yeah.
And seeing a large, increase in clients in that space.
Okay. And so, how were you introduced to the blockchain technology?
I got involved primarily through my business.
Okay.
I've always been presented with investment opportunities, and I looked at a lot of these technologies but kind of passed them off because they seemed very risky years ago. Mm-hmm. And it just kept developing, and then it crept into business, and so I couldn't ignore it any longer, and took time to really research and take the time to really understand what it's all about, and started taking clients on and accepting cryptocurrencies, payments.
You're accepting cryptocurrencies,
yes,
getting paid with crypto.
Yeah, we've been, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it, when you were talking about the things that you heard about but you kept pushing it off, is that Bitcoin type of things?
Primarily Bitcoin. I hadn't really heard much else, but Bitcoin, obviously the ups and downs were apparent, and I was always involved in venture capital and private equity, so I was very conservative, and it frankly just scared me. The wild fluctuations, so wasn't willing to go near it, but this whole space of blockchain is really about developing technologies, and there's a lot more to it than just what Bitcoin represents.
So that's what brought you in, was when you saw when I saw there was decentralized area of
well, primarily what really I think hooked me was when I really understood that the whole space is about decentralization and transparency, and how institutions, who have been able to operate, with a cloak of privacy, and do all sorts of things that they're not really have benefited the many. How I could see that that's going to come to an end, and for the greater good. And so it's really for the greater good and an ecosystem. And when I saw how the people that are involved in this space have a passion, and a real motivation to help other people, that's what really, hooked me.
Yeah. Now, what made you decide to go ahead and start taking cryptocurrency as a payment?
Well, everybody who's in the space, would love to pay in currency, and it was really just a question of getting comfortable. Understanding the currencies and understanding the risks involved in it, and it is risky, but there's certain things that we do, to minimize that risk.
Yeah. All right. And are you trading
as an investor?
Are you trading? Do you have like your bots up and
I don't trade, but I've invested in many currencies.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And so what brought you to this one particularly?
Well, actually, we sponsor an event, the Beverly Hills blockchain event.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we had, for instance, David Moss spoke about 4 weeks ago at the event, and it's produced by Stephen Mead, and so we sponsor the event. I've known Stephen for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
And so I ran into Sydney and a bunch of other people, and he told me about people that were going to be here speaking, and this community is very supportive, and there are a lot of people circulating and sharing information freely, and wanted to be a part of that and support friends of mine who are here today.
And spreading the gospel of this what people are scared of, but letting them know that this is no, it's not fake money. It's real.
Right.
It's a real currency, and the technologies behind it is what they're not understanding.
It's the way I describe it is that there are people who are investors who have invested in stocks, who are generally investing in a balance sheet and a cash flow statement. They're looking at numbers, deciding, and then kind of, see what market sentiment is and what they understand about, the company. Let's say Apple, it's close to $1 trillion, and they sell iPhones, and they're sitting on a bunch of cash. So it sounds really safe. In this space, there really are no real operating histories. So you really have to be very well educated in terms of the actual technology, what technologies are being brought to market, who's part of the team, what's their ability to execute. And so you have to do some digging.
Yeah.
But it's interesting and it's fun. And I would say that if you approach it as a hobby, that's probably you'll be a lot more successful.
Yeah, don't put so much money into it if you lose
no,
it. You're
no,
upside down.
Absolutely not. You should only invest what you're willing to lose. Look at it as if you're going to dinner, or it's a vacation you're not going to take, but something that you're willing to forego. But you can't win the lottery if you don't play.
You can't win if you don't play.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And so how do people get a hold of you? How if somebody out there that was listening that wanted to talk to you about what it is you guys do and if you could help them?
Sure. They can reach me. The best way to get a hold of me is by email, and it's my initials KH at pmbc group. It's P as in Peter, M as in Mary, B as in boy, C as in Charlie group.com.
Okay.
And they're welcome to send me an email. And we have offices in Beverly Hills. We are a real agency. We have people.
You have a real address.
We have, yes, we have very nice offices with a couple dozen employees who show up regularly. They work collaboratively. They're all tech fanatics.
Yeah.
And share that common interest and that love for the industry. So so we do great things, have great case studies, and can also share a lot of knowledge. We're happy to share what we can to help companies in their journey.
Yeah, and then that's what we need. A lot of people they need this exposure to the information to let them know if this is something they want to get into, and help them out, helps everyone out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one more question. You see Bitcoin here today about 11,000 something, right? 11,000 some change. What's it going to be December 31st, 2018?
Wow, you're really putting me on the spot here. I wouldn't be surprised if it hit 30,000.
Yeah.
I know that sounds pretty optimistic, especially since it's losing market share, which I think it will continue to do. I'm a believer that Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin in market cap before the end of the year. But I could still see it going to 30,000. This market is so small, $500 billion relative to fiat, which is 200 trillion, and stock exchanges that are up there as well, and those kind of numbers. So, and what we saw the type of money that came into the market last year, I think that this year we're probably going to be at least 2 trillion.
Yeah.
So I could see it easily going to 30, and I think that it's very possible that we'll see Ethereum, Ether, probably at around 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
Good prediction. That's conservatively what a lot of people have said. 28 to 30,000. You know, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 2750.
There you go.
All right. Well, Keith, it was great having you on the show today,
Thank you so
keep
much.
up the good work.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, later.